On a frigid February night in 2022, the quiet streets of Racine, Wisconsin, suddenly turned into the stage for a high-speed chase that looked like it belonged in an action film. Dispatchers took a call about a reckless black Jaguar swerving through traffic, endangering everyone in its path. Officers quickly ran the plates and confirmed the car wasn't just being driven carelessly, it had been reported stolen out of Gurnee, Illinois. Immediately, an attempt to locate alert went out, summoning patrol cars across the area to scour the city.
You want sound check?
71 dispatch, the vehicle is going to be going on North Memorial southbound, coming up tonight.
The Jaguar wasn't new to police radar. Nearby agencies had already reported the same vehicle being involved in pursuits south of the state line. The information painted a clearer picture. Whoever was behind the wheel was no stranger to the thrill of running from the law. Officers soon began to piece together who the culprits might be. The suspected driver, 17-year-old Herman Thomas, was believed to be traveling with 18-year-old Jamari Randall, 18-year-old Mark Williams, and another 17-year-old whose name was withheld. These weren't just joyriders. Investigators identified them as gang members, young men already known to carry firearms in court trouble.
71 continuing southbound, approaching 12th Street.
Earlier that same day, Herman himself had posted a live video flaunting the stolen Jaguar online, grinning as if daring police to catch him. By nightfall, the dare became reality. Undercover officers spotted the Jaguar racing past. Squads fell in line, attempting to close the distance. But time and again, the car disappeared into the grid of city streets. Officers reported losing sight of it, only to find it again weaving through traffic at dangerous speeds. Then came the moment that changed everything. Just as supervisors were about to call off the chase for safety reasons, the Jaguar slammed into two vehicles, crumpling metal and glass.
10-1, he just hit a car. Somebody can stay with it. They're failing at 16th.
The stolen car screeched to a halt. Doors flew open, and all four teens bolted in different directions, leaving chaos in their wake. Herman sprinted southbound, pursued by multiple deputies and a K-9 unit. As he ran, he tossed a handgun into the snow, an incriminating act spotted by officers who yelled for him to stop. Moments later, a taser crackled, and Herman collapsed onto the icy pavement. Officers swarmed in, handcuffing the teenage driver who had just put countless lives in jeopardy. Back at the crash site, investigators searched the Jaguar. They discovered another firearm inside, a 9mm pistol with an extended magazine, eerily similar to the one Herman had ditched moments earlier. Alongside it lay a cell phone and an ID belonging to the second 17-year-old passenger.
I'm going to look.
Hey, can you stand right here? Stand right here. Cuz, bro, I don't know.
Evidence was piling up quickly. Meanwhile, the search for the others played out like a scene from a crime drama. Officers fanned through alleys and backyards. Residents pointed in different directions. They went that way! As K-9S barked warnings that anyone hiding would be bitten if they didn't surrender. One construction worker stepped out of a basement to tell police that a young man had suddenly run down, begging him to call his mother. That teen turned out to be Jamari Randall, who was taken into custody without much resistance. Despite the cold air and tense atmosphere, the officers' radios buzzed with a mix of adrenaline and gallows humor. One deputy joked about his old squad car barely surviving the chase. Another about having the perfect setup for spike strips but missing the chance. But the jokes didn't mask the reality. Multiple guns had been scattered around the neighborhood, an innocent driver had been injured in the crash, and two suspects were still on the run.
31, I'm on the 1600 block of Memorial Alley.
Right here, this one, right in front of us. The back doors are open.
When Herman was placed in the back of a squad, the weight of his situation began to sink in. He tried to minimize his past, claiming he didn't really have a record. Officers quickly reminded him that his juvenile record wouldn't just disappear now that he was legally considered an adult. "How much do you think my bail's going to be?" He asked one deputy, sounding more like a nervous kid than a hardened criminal.
I was in a Dodge.
You were in a Dodge?
Yes.
So you were on foot or you were in a Dodge?
A Dodge Magnum. I met up with them in a Dodge Magnum.
At just 17, he realized he was stepping into a justice system that no longer treated him as a child. Jamari, on the other hand, tried a different approach. He told officers he hadn't wanted to be there, that the others had pressured him into the car after meeting up through Facebook Marketplace. He claimed they'd even threatened to hold him hostage while trying to steal his phone. His story painted him as more victim than accomplice, but officers weren't buying it entirely. He had been seen inside the Jaguar during the chase, and his name was already linked to previous trouble. The injured driver from the crash was rushed to the hospital. While their injuries weren't life-threatening, it underscored the danger of the teen's reckless decisions. A joyride in a stolen car had nearly turned deadly for someone who had nothing to do with the chaos. The following weeks brought the suspects into the courtroom, where their fates were decided.
Star. President Morgan? Yes. Voting no. Close. Carry over. George?
Herman faced an overwhelming list of charges. Felony counts of taking a vehicle without consent, fleeing and eluding police, reckless endangerment, hit and run, causing injury, and multiple firearm violations. On top of that were misdemeanor counts for resisting officers and carrying concealed weapons while underage. The judge set his bond at $20,000, a steep price meant to reflect the seriousness of the crimes. In court, Herman's defense tried to argue for leniency, pointing out his youth and potential to change. But the facts weighed heavily against him. The live video he posted, the weapons recovered, the reckless chase, all painted a picture of deliberate choices rather than youthful mistakes. In the end, the jury found him guilty of 4 charges. The others were dismissed but read in, ensuring they factored into his sentencing.
Correct.
Hey, man,
I got it. I know him. That's why I didn't want to say he lived up here, but...
Oh, Scott. He fancy. You got that titanium nitride. Oh, nice.
Herman received 3 years of initial confinement, followed by 2 years of extended supervision and an additional 6 years of probation. Should he violate his terms, more prison time awaited him. Jamari's case was less severe but still consequential. He faced charges of felony bail jumping, resisting arrest, and being a passenger in a stolen car. His bond was set at $5,000. Ultimately, he was convicted of just 1 count of bail jumping, but the dismissed charges were read in for context. His sentence was 6 months in the Racine County Jail to be served after finishing time for a 2021 incident. As for Mark Williams and the other unnamed teen, they vanished into the night. Police knew their identities and warrants were expected, but they were not found during the immediate aftermath.
Warmer inside, what do you mean?
I'm just making sure, you know?
I mean, you're the one who decided to go for a run in the snow, not us. That was you. So don't complain about being cold.
For the community, that left an uneasy feeling. 2 armed teens with a history of stolen cars and gang ties, still on the loose. Neighbors who had witnessed the chase unfold spoke candidly about their relief and fear. Some shouted at police to keep the suspects off the streets, tired of their neighborhoods becoming danger zones. Others expressed frustration at seeing kids so young, wrapped up in guns and gang culture. The sight of teenagers tossing pistols into the snow wasn't just a police problem. It was a community crisis. For the officers involved, the pursuit left a lasting impression. While some spoke lightheartedly about the quirks of their old patrol cars, others reflected on how quickly things could have gone worse.
This was still on and in gear.
Is it gear too?
Yeah. One of those passengers, I think, but that's all I know. Huh? They all ran.
Oh, those are the idiots over there?
They're in here somewhere.
Okay.
One officer, speaking directly to Herman after his arrest, offered a rare moment of compassion. "I'm sure you're a good person," he told the teen. "You just make some poor decisions sometimes. It's up to you to break that cycle." The night of the Black Jaguar wasn't simply about a stolen car, it was about how recklessness collides with reality. It was about how 4 young men, barely adults, jeopardized lives, including their own, because they thought they could outrun consequences. The collision on Memorial Drive, the guns discarded in the snow, the injured driver transported to the hospital, all stood as stark reminders that choices carry weight. In the end, Herman Thomas walked away with years of confinement and probation hanging over his head, while Jamari Randall faced his own stretch of jail time.
But then no, they just stopped and every door opened. They started running.
Yeah.
This guy.
I don't know if he thought he wrecked. Did he think he wrecked?
The two who escaped likely faced warrants and looming charges. And Racine, Wisconsin was left with the memory of a winter night when sirens echoed through the streets, when split-second decisions threatened lives, and when teenagers learned that not even youth can outrun the law.
Screamed, and then when he started doing one of these, I just popped him.
Yeah.
And then he went, oh, and he just.
Oh, you did get a deployment?
Oh, he went
Taser?
down.
Yeah. I didn't
You
see.
made it this far, you're a legend. If the story kept you on the edge of your seat, tap like, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you in the next one.